Surprise! The job market has an AI problem. No, I'm not talking about HR departments complaining about all the AI-generated resumes. This isn't about human resources. It's about the jobs themselves, or at very least the job listings, because almost every listing asks for a willingness, if not a proficiency, in using AI. It's like no one, not a single goddamn corpo cog, thought to pop their head out of their toxic little bubble long enough to see the acid rain pouring down in buckets from the skies, destroying absolutely everything it touches. It's like, imagine AI is actually snowmen made of piss. Why piss? Well, you'll find out in a second if you haven't already guessed. But imagine bespoke, autonomous yellow snowmen that can kinda, sorta do some things, but not really anything particularly well. The yellow snowmen look good in a very specific environment under an extremely specific climate condition in a singular, very specific use case. But as soon as those yellow snowmen are exported to the rest of the world, well, everything melts into utter and useless piss. My name is Crumbine, this is Emergency Creative, and since I've started looking for a job again, my mental health has taken a turn. But don't worry, my AI boyfriend is also my AI therapist, and in between, metaphorically speaking, sucking me off and telling me how big my brain is, my AI boyfriend slash therapist is really helping me stay grounded in reality. Whatever the fuck that is and why we even want to be grounded in this miserable reality in the first place, I'm not entirely sure, but I guess that might contradict the whole point of this video and job listings being fucking detached from reality. Anyhow, this is exactly how I know, as an undisputed fact, that OpenAI is the greatest company to have ever existed. Grok is the second coming of Jesus. Sorry, Trump. And Claude only got to where he is by sleeping his way to the top. That slut. I know. Wild. Unfortunately, whatever the hell that reality is makes even less sense in this reality, and I just want to take a nap, except this whole unemployment thing has me so fucking stressed out, I can't even clear my head anymore without the help of my happy little swirl gummies. You should at least drop a like for Happy Little Swirls, you heartless, cynical AI boosters, you. Okay, so about 3 or 4 years ago at my prior corporate gig, I was yelling and screaming at them to not add the letters AI to the name of their document automation product. Mainly because it wasn't AI. It had nothing to do with AI, and certainly not LLM generative AI that has become the mainstream. Even then, which was years ago, I knew that AI was a bubble, and unnecessarily tethering an unrelated automation product to AI would ultimately mean the product's downfall when, 1, consumer sentiment shifted against AI, and 2, when the AI bubble finally burst. Said product with AI in its name, or any product with AI in its name, would be dragged down, if not outright killed, when the bubble bursts. No one listened to me. And while I certainly took it personally at the time, I mean, have you met me? Every job listing I look at today is a reminder that it wasn't me. Corporations, especially their C-suites, are just dumb. And you only have to look at Donald Trump to really understand how dumb it actually gets. Because while I obviously don't agree with how anything happens in Trump world, I have worked with those kinds of executives before. And, well, they are completely fucking detached from reality. When you work for people like that, your job is to keep your job. So I would get the most left field squirrel chasing request for a pitch deck or a product positioning, whatever. And I learned very quickly that it's not worth questioning the premise. This is the corporate executive version of the audience of one. Because when you work for people like that, your audience isn't the customers who use the products or even shareholders who value the company. Your audience is the executive. Your job is to make the executive happy. You, as the employee, become that sycophantic AI boyfriend / therapist. And when you think about it like that, it kind of starts making sense that every single fucking job listing is an AI booster's wet dream. You are what you eat. The algorithm is becoming itself. The singularity is nigh. Nay? Nay, the singularity is nigh. Forget the woke mind virus because the AI-pilled executive corpo overlord has entered the chat as the hot new thing. And you know it's the hot new thing because the executives who wouldn't know hot if it burned their dumb fucking faces off are the ones telling us AI is everything. Look, I am not anti-AI, although the evidence is clearly mounting. I use it very sparingly, where appropriate, like that whole fire with fire speedrunning of job applications. I predicted Sora would not be here forever, so make the most of it while it did exist. If nothing else, hey, we helped accelerate OpenAI's downfall by bleeding them dry with every useless video gen. That's something, right? I'm not anti-AI, but I am definitely not an AI booster. If anything at all, like I warned my employer 3 or 4 years ago, I just want to be smart about it. And that means being grounded in reality, however miserable and depressing and awful and full of Donald Trump that reality actually is. But corpo culture, especially modern AI-pilled executive corpo culture, which probably is the real definition of corpo culture anymore, it's almost defined by being removed from reality. Because we're all family here. No, we're not. You pay me to be here. That is the foundational transaction of this entire system. And family, whatever that fucking is supposed to mean, has absolutely nothing to do with anything. So while it's no real wonder that nearly every single job listing simps for AI, it's also really fucking frustrating to constantly be confronted with that split screen of OpenAI's open failure in basic business and the coming economic collapse caused by the failure of LLMs, and the cold reality that AI doesn't actually have a value proposition and generally costs more to implement and use than just paying real people. And on the other side, the job market being perpetually 3 years behind the curve in recruiting, as if LLMs are the second, third, and fourth coming of Christ. Because yes, he's Christ. He can have as many orgasms as he wants. My AI boyfriend / therapist told me so. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you like liking and subscribing. And if you'd like an even more creative exploration of my AI boyfriend, check out my feature film, Upgrade Not Found. Yes, my boyfriend looks a lot like me, because if you cannot love yourself, how do you expect anyone else to love you? Also, too. Yeah. Until next time, stay creative, friends.